Okay, so this room didn't have a ton of activity in it, but I think the claims that are in this room is that a little boy and girl or child is seen by this window to the left of me. As people walk by, they make the comments to the owners of this house now they don't like to walk by this house because of these reasons. And we've seen things with the dog tonight that he doesn't go into certain rooms at all. And I'm thinking if the dog is hypersensitive to something, not just a grumpy Irish guy, maybe there's something in here too.
I hear you like to open cupboard doors and drawers.
Tag car?
So you're obviously able to do something physically.
Mm-hmm. Are we wasting our time in this room? Is it possible this room doesn't have any of the activity that people say it does? You know that people stand at this window. Here I am standing at your window. Wondering what this robe would have looked like back in the days.
Hi, so my name is Carolyn, and I didn't have the pleasure of being here the last time, so I didn't get to hear your voices or see what you could do. So I am curious about the child that they see at the window. Now, did you live here before? Were you here when this was a hotel? What do you think about what you see now with the things that the kids have here now that you wouldn't have had? You know, we have bikes in here. We have toys that you may not have had when you lived here. How do you feel about all that?
Alright, so here we are, Sydney.
Here we are.
And myself, Shannon, up here, all alone, so you can come talk to us now.
Mean old Dave left.
Yeah, it's just us. We're fun.
Just us goals. Goals.
Ghouls.
Girls.
Apparently we're ghouls.
We're goals now.
It's better than ghouls.
Ghouls. You're the ghouls. We're the goals.
I don't think they're ghouls.
You never know. Prove us wrong.
Now I know I can't hear you, but we have a device down here that will listen to you and it will hear your voice. And then maybe we can hear it later. And if we can hear it, we can put some answers to this family. Now, come on now. You've heard our voices before. You know that we're not here to upset you and be disrespectful to you. We're only here to be educated.
So hello again. My name is Carolyn, as Dave said, and yes, I came down from the Ottawa area. I'm curious about why there's activity down here. What was this basement here like this or in some form when you were here? And what did you use it for? I was thinking about, is there some connection between the two boys that went through the ice and this basement? The family has commented on sometimes having a smell of death upstairs. Did they recover the boys? And it would have been winter time, so they wouldn't have been able to bury them. Would they have been brought down here where it would be cold and kept until they could be properly buried?
That's a good question.
Is that why there is the occasional smell of death upstairs? It would come up through the floorboards?
Yeah, you haven't bothered to touch any of us down here. You haven't given us any physical indication that you're around. Can you please do that? You know, Sydney's sitting over there with a funny looking camera in her hands. I don't think you'd understand what that is. I don't know if you know what it looks like. It's got some funny lights on it. I didn't know if those lights look a little different to you than they do to me. You see, those lights are designed to help us see in the dark. It's not like a flashlight. Our camera has got a special lens on it that picks up those lights, and this room is nice and bright. So if you walk in front of me right now, that camera's going to see you. but I'm kind of interested and intrigued to know. You know, to me they're like a little dim red, but what do they look like to you? Why would you choose, if you're here, to hang out in the basement? To me, I'm thinking if anywhere in the house I'm going to hang out with, it's not going to be in the basement. You know? These folks are pretty clean, but the basement's a basement. It's still musty.
And dirty.
And dirty. Yeah, it's a basement, right? You know, this is where you put stuff you don't really care about. That's just the way it goes. All right. So now that I've effectively insulted the family, as you can tell, you know what? If you're spirit, you can see that we're not here in a disrespectful manner, or we're not here being authoritative. We're telling jokes.
Hi,
puppy.
We're gonna
Hey.
set you up already.
Hey, buddy, why don't you come on in here? Come on. Come on. Rico, come on. Come on. Come on. Where's the audio? Can you hear it in here when I'm talking? Hey, Rico. Rico, oh, come on. Come on, buddy. You come in here. So for the record, the dog doesn't come into this room. This is the room where we got the profanity of, you know, get the F out of here, when the dog was trying to come in here, or when Chris and Valen were coaxing the dog to come in here. And for the record, it's obvious that the dog doesn't come in this room from either end of the house. So, see?
Come here. Want a treat?
All right.
Yeah, see a treat. Get a treat.
Yeah, it's okay, buddy. Okay, you're not gonna do it. It's okay. You don't have to go in there. All right, so we're not gonna force the dog to go in there. That's the only experiment I did there. I just wanted to see for camera that that happens. I'm not cruel enough to force that to occur.
Let's try to go. Come on.
Go on out there, buddy. The last room that we're focusing on. The homeowners are in the room. This is the room where we got the rather expletive conversation to the dog. We can already see that the dog is still not in any position to come into this room. I'm guessing if this was a main sitting room or a dining room, you're right, the animals probably wouldn't be welcome in here. That's fine. Well, he's not coming in here, so we don't have to worry about that, because cats still come through here. They don't really care, but cats don't care about a lot. We've actually got a device on the floor that's creating a net. It's like a big blanket for you to walk into. Feed on that energy.
My ass is still on this energy.
Come sit on the plate.
It's over here fast.
It's a plate of friendship.
Yes, it's a friendship plate. As you can tell, again, you know, if you were listening to us downstairs, we're not here in a overly serious fashion. We're serious about the questions that we ask and what we do, but we're hardly, holy God, you're like crazy tonight. We're here on a friendly level. Like I'm going to talk to you heart to heart right now, dad to dad. You know. So, again, do we hold on to bitterness? Do we hold on to emotions we've passed on? It's a question I've asked a lot in previous investigations: is do we have the same emotions when we die? You know, I can't imagine living through death if you exist yet still with sorrow all the time. Does that affect you and what you do? Again, we all have different faiths on what happens. One of the reasons why we do what we do is to maybe ask the question, what does truly happen to us after we die? Hit her, is she waking something?
No, I'm listening.
Okay. Like, we want to know, when we get an email a few weeks from now, I want to be able to have Sean let me know that everything's cool, man. There's nothing. And I wanna be able to say, we went over the evidence, and there's nothing.
What was that?
Yeah, what was that?
I heard it.
I heard too. I'll check.
It wasn't-
Somebody not yawn?
It wasn't a girl.
No.
No, that was.
I heard
It
that
wasn't
too.
Ada or Rowan.
Never shut.
What is it?
I can't tell if they're outside talking or not.
For you to move on and go to your family members. You don't belong here anymore.
Your family isn't here anymore. You need to go be with your family on the other side. There's nobody here for you anymore.
The family that's here now is taking wonderful care of this house. It's their house. It's filled with the love of their family, which includes their pets, and that includes the dog. And if they want the dog to come into this room, if they want to have a dog bed in here, if they want the dog to eat in here, that's their choice, not yours.
You gonna make that same noise again? I don't know if that noise was just a physical rapture in the house or something. I know we all heard it. As to what it was unfortunately insubstantial. What we need is something physical for us. Like we're in this room that you don't want a dog to come into. Again, it's not your house. We need to know why.
Have you actually done anything to actually scare the dog that the owners aren't aware of? Or can he just sense your presence and that's why he doesn't want to come in here? What was this room to you when you lived here? Probably wasn't a dining room, perhaps it was something else. Maybe this was a bedroom, maybe this was an area where you worked. What was this room to you that animals, dogs would not be allowed in here?
Oh, just some kind of mechanical noise in the background. Gather. Like I said, we're not here all night. Family's gotta live here. So you need to let them live here. Let them go. Do some honor, right? Like the respectful, honorable, gentlemanly thing to do would be to let this family just live their lives, right? I mean,
I understand to some extent the bitterness that you can carry with you for a while. And it can be difficult to work through that. It can take years. Sometimes you're angry at that person. You may have blamed the children. But honestly, just shit happens, and we have to work through it, and we can't blame those that are still with us for what happened. I don't know if you were angry with the children when your wife died. I was thinking about the wife earlier as well. Like, why would you want to stay here and not go and be with her and be with your children? Like I personally, I'm hoping that my husband is still there waiting for me. Like I don't, and I'm hoping that when you cross over, do you still feel that love? Is that still there? Or does that just cease to exist? Because that thought actually terrifies me. I would hate to think that you cross over when you pass and that emotion, you've been waiting to be reunited with this loved one and that doesn't exist anymore.
yeah, it's just a nerd. Like you're just,
It's like,
you pass on and then you're,
okay, but you know what,
You're
I've
just
been,
there.
like, we've been like that for years and you're kind of waiting to meet, to see this person again. And yeah, it's not there. It's just is.
We don't know. I mean, really, we've got a million religions across the world. They
Yeah.
all have their different faiths and beliefs. But again, till you're dead,
Do you did? You don't know?
you don't know. You know, it could, that's the only scary thing about death. Really, is you could get over there and end up being, you know, Tim Hortons counter person, serving coffee forever. Who knows, right?
I could be reincarnated as a Tim.
We want to thank you for the, and believe it or not, with respect, even though we spoke kind of firmly for a while there, and asked some questions, we're doing this all in the light of education, and all in the light of giving this family some peace and some answers. I want to thank you respectfully. You know what? Again, if you're here, we need you to go, or you're very quiet. And we'd really appreciate that. Hey, it's okay. Do you want to come here?
Pick him up, and he was like,
Hey, it's okay. Do you want to come here?
pick him up, and he was like,